Assalamualaikum and hi, I am Nurko Azizi Zoraini with my teammate Rashatul Muhammad Rasid from Group 2. Our title is Palm Oil Mill Boiler. So as the introduction, Malaysia became the second highest country in palm oil production with 5.9 million hectares of palm oil according to MPLB. In palm oil mill, fresh fruit punch undergoes several processes which are sterilization, stripping, oil extraction, clarification, nut fiber separator as well as kernel extraction and drying to produce palm oil. After the purification, the crude palm oil and crude palm kernel oil were transferred into the storage. This shows that the main product in the palm oil mills are crude palm oil and crude palm kernel oil. And then the byproduct is biomass products which are fiber and shell. Palm oil mill boiler. In a typical palm oil mill, the palm oil waste stream generated by this process consists of 22% empty fruit bunch, 5% palm kernel shells, and 13% mesocarp fiber. In most cases, palm kernel shells and mesocarp fiber are used as fuel in the boiler of palm oil mill, generating enough steam for the sterilizers and electricity for running the mills. Generally, each oil palm mill will use two boilers, as been stated by Rashid et al. 2013. Both boilers will have different value of emission factor, which due to specific state gas conditions such as temperature, pressure, volumetric flow rate, and etc. Particular emission can be affected by three terms. First one, thermal efficiency, which when the higher thermal efficiency of boiler, lower the emission factor will be produced. Second, excess air from combustion in the boiler. And the last one, maintain the load capacity in operation of the boiler. When exceed the load capacity, the combustion of solid fuel may incomplete. Higher emission factor will be produced. So, for the problem statement, palm oil mill can cause air pollution, which comes from dark smoke emission with carryover of soot and partially carbonized fibrous particulate emitted that come from the boiler due to incomplete combustion of solid fuels. The particulate matter discharged from the palm oil mill will raise the atmospheric particulate matter at surrounding areas of the palm oil mill. Greenhouse gases emission also become a concern in oil palm mill that need to be considered due to the highest emission that come from the waste produced during palm oil processing. The GHG sources are from transportation, home, which palm oil mill effluent, decomposition of biomass, and burning.
In order to solve the problem, this research is proposed to identify the emission factor and to determine the efficiency of the boiler, which follows the DOE regulation. This shows the literature review from 4 research papers which have different emission factor and different efficiency of the boiler. As the data of boiler has been extracted from different research papers, here is the tabulated data that has been collected from it. As in reference 1 until 4 with location at Johor, Malaysia, the fuel being fed in the boiler is solid fuel, which is fiber and shell with different ratio and different loading amount of fuel, and the APC that has been used is multi-cyclone. The emission factor is gained from the research paper and can also be calculated. As in reference 1, the emission factor is calculated based on the equation stated by Rashid's paper. And for the rest of the reference, the emission factor is collected from the research paper respectively. The particular emission can be calculated with the production between emission factor and loading fuel. As the minimum efficiency has been gained from the reference, the new efficiency which follows the DOE regulation can be calculated. According to Rashid, the emission factor can be calculated by using the equation shown in this slide, and the calculation have been shown in the previous slides. As a result, the particular emission was calculated by this formula, which emission factor times with load of the fiber and shell. As shown in this slide, the new efficiency can be identified. The X value is the concentration of particulate emission. The Clean Air Regulation has limited the concentration of particulate emission to 150 mg per meter cube. Therefore, the new efficiency can be identified by using this calculation. This is the reference that we are referring to. That's all from us. Thank you for listening.